Alrighty, I have a Who the F*** Said That. You guys ready for this one?
Fucking oath.
Do it.
Very good. But I'll even try and say it the way he says it, because it's kind of a little bit strange the way this person speaks. So, here we go. The right man in the wrong place can make all the difference in the world.
I was nearly going to yell it out at the start.
What, as I was saying?
Yep. No, because you said he talks in a very specific way.
Oh, so you were going to get it before he even said the quote?
Yeah. I was just going to blurt it out. And then I was even thinking of the same quote.
Oh, right. Well, there you go. So
Makes all the difference.
Yeah, it's almost like, did this guy have a stroke or what?
Yeah, just halfway through.
All right, well,
I clearly haven't played this game then.
Yeah, I was going to say Snoogs sounds like he knows who the f*** said that, but Greg, no?
No, I have no idea what you're talking about.
Right,
Can't remember his name, but I know the game.
Okay,
Yeah.
yes. Well, I have that and the name of the game at the end of the show. So let's get started. This is episode 226, and today is Monday, the 13th of August, 2018. Welcome to the Aussie Gamers Express video game podcast. I am your host, Lucas, and here with me is my co-host and very good friend, Snoogs. How are you, buddy?
Because it's Monday the 13th, it's like the opposite end of the week. Does that mean it's a good day?
No.
No? Okay. Yeah, I'm good.
Yeah.
That makes sense.
Yeah. I am fine, thank you. I'm looking forward to a good show. But last but not least, we have the guy that used to sell potatoes that had been carved into playful monkeys, Grejio. How are you, buddy?
Hey man, I'm good. I can't fault you on your creativity this week. I really can't. I'd like to think that you sit there and nut these out. I'd have this funny feeling you just make them up on the spot.
Just rolls off the tongue.
Oh, mate, the amount of crap that can pour out of my mouth is infallible, mate. It just flows.
Hey, look, yeah, I'm doing really well, actually. I'm good.
Lovely.
That's where I want to keep it.
Yeah, fair enough. Yeah, keep it that way. No Rem this week. She's away. Should we hazard a guess at what she's doing? Is she like doing a manpower weekend or something? Or
No, she's chilling on a beach somewhere. Hopefully, no, she's just taking mummy week away, just because it's been pretty intense with the kids, especially with the new one, and now she's had now the new one is a little bit more user friendly to the dad, me. We just decided that it was a good time for her to just have a break and recharge the batteries, and it gives me a chance to spend more time with the kids as well, because being the person that does the working, I don't get to see them as much. So,
very good. Yeah. Well, a much-earned break for Rem. That's good, but she'll be back.
Very much.
We look forward to having her back. But does that mean, because she's having this time away, you're next?
Look, possibly. I don't know.
Boys' weekend!
I know the answer to that. You get 8 hours a day away from it.
Yeah, look, I don't think we keep score. If we kept score, then I think she'd take the next month off. So,
Lovely. All right. Well, anyway, let's move on and get the show started. Before we start, here is this week's show in preview. First up, we've got video game discussion, and then we're going to do a project, What Would You Rather? Then we'll do What's That Sound? And then I'm a little bit shy. I don't really want to say it in the presence of you, Greg. I feel like I'm going to be judged.
Who that?
Awesome. And then after Who that?
You went and did it anyway.
Yeah, I did anyway. I got the practice in from you, listening to you. After that, we'll be doing last words. So let's go straight into video game discussion. Okay, the first thing on the agenda is poll of the week. And this week's poll of the week was, should Sony call their next console the PlayStation 5, or should they go for something new and unique? We got 304 votes through the door this week, and it was heavily weighted towards, obviously, 77% of people said PS5. It's tradition. And 23% of people said fancy new name. What would you guys want?
I heard they were going to cash in on the current climate, and they were going to call it the PS Fortnite.
Yeah. Not a half bad idea, yeah, considering all the parents will know to steer clear of it, though, then.
Comes with its own floss station. I want a PS5. I want my PS5.
Yeah.
I've had the
You don't want the ready PlayStation one?
No, I don't want the ready one. No.
The ready
The
what?
ready.
No.
I was playing off the movie Ready Player One. You got Ready PlayStation One.
Oh, right, okay. Now, you know what I'm thinking, like, it's kind of like when you're watching a movie, you know, like, and it annoys me. Assassin's Creed did it. A lot of movies do it, where you'll have, like, Assassin's Creed 2, and then they'll go and do stupid shit like Assassin's Creed Brotherhood, Revelations, and then when you're looking back 5-10 years later, you're like, which order are they in? You just don't know.
Like the Xbox, the 360, the Xbox One.
Yeah, well, that's it. People that weren't on the scene for those, you're going to look at it and go, which one's the new one?
Why don't they go like old school, like retro, and call it the SNES CD?
Well,
there's obvious reasons why they won't, but
yes, but yeah, that's the reason why. As boring as it is, it's very practical and it's very consumer friendly. Just calling it the PlayStation 5. Because people will know that it's the natural progression, it's the latest one out, because there's a PS4, they've never heard of a PS6 yet. There's PS3, there's PS4, there's PS5, so clearly the PS5 is the latest one, I'll get that. So I think it's, consumer friendly, good for advertising, it's traditions, what they've been doing for the last bloody, 30 years?
And at the end of the day, they'd have to have a really good reason to spend money on rebranding themselves. Like, why would you? Yeah, what am I looking for here?
It's kind of what you do when something
it's brand
fails.
recognition. It's brand recognition, essentially. So far now, it's PlayStation. That's what it is, and they're just giving you the iterations, and they've gone and they've stuck with it. That's the brand recognition. That's what people know. That's what people feel safe with. You know, Xbox decided from the outset they weren't going to have an Xbox 2. It was the Xbox 360, then the Xbox One. People won't not remember what order they came in because they're not order-specific numbers. They're just names. And people will remember, you know. Yeah, I get what you're saying about the Brotherhood and all that jazz, but that's because Assassin's Creed started off as a Assassin's Creed and then Assassin's Creed 2, and then we had a bunch of weird ones, and then a 3, and then a weird one, and then a 4, and then, you know, we just sort of left the numbers again altogether.
The thing that's extra stupid with Assassin's Creed is that Assassin's Creed 1 is you play as Altair, and then Assassin's Creed 2 you play as... what's his name? Ezio. And then... I don't even remember which one it is. Is it Revelations or Brotherhood comes next?
Brotherhood and then Revelations.
And you're still playing as Ezio. So, like... you don't change numbers until you get a new character. Yeah, I suppose... Is that
Except
how it works?
then the next one after that was Black Flag, which you got a new character anyway. Granted, great-grandfather of the player you just played as, but still, it's... Yeah, look... You could say family lines.
Yeah, look, I suppose there's
but they're all a family line up until that point. So.
Well, yeah. Look, I mean, I'm sure there's reasons for it, but it's so confusing. It just made a mess of it. I wish they just could have just kept with the numbering system, but anyway, can't change the past now. The comment of the week goes to Matt Spies. He suggested that it should be called the Pussy Slayer version 5.
Nice.
I'd buy it.
Yeah. That almost might be enough to get me to jump ship to PlayStation again, back to PlayStation.
Yeah, why not?
If they have the balls to bring that out, I'll be like, yeah, you know what? I'm gonna buy one. It could be the shitter of the two next gen consoles, and I'd still buy one.
Oh, I really just am anticipating who comes out with the powerful console. You know what? I predict that there's going to be bugger all difference between the two of them.
Probably. You know what? PlayStation, Xbox, doesn't matter. When are we getting PC too?
Well, to be fair, it doesn't matter to us because we'll all end up with like both anyway. So that's where it falls over for us. We're like, all the people are saying, "Give us your opinion on what's better." And we're like, "We're going to buy both." It doesn't matter.
Well, that's it. I will have both of them, and if funds allow, I'll have both of them on day one. So it's neither here nor there who's the hero, but hopefully both of them are massively successful next generation. That'd be great. If
they do call it Pussy Slayer, I don't want it to come in black. Okay. I want it to be bright yellow with Pussy Slayer in bright pink 70s writing across it, like the Pussy Wagon
like
out
the
of
Pussy Wagon.
Kill Bill.
like the airbrushing you got done on your car.
Yes. Just like that.
Just clicked.
Just like that.
There we go. All right, well, that was poll of the week. So who wants to take up the next part and tell us what they've done through the week?
I finished every single level in Friday the 13th on the mobile.
Oh, yes, yeah. I remember you told me, like, you were saying that you got so far last week, and then after the podcast, you, like, finished it.
Yeah, so I've been going back. I think my Bloodlust is now level 25. I've been unlocking. There's actually, I'm debating on buying the full version. So there's still a few more things to unlock on it.
How much
that you unlock, which is it's $15.
Oh, really? That's big for a mobile game.
Yeah. So with that $15, you get all these unlocks. You get all these extra weapons and extra Bloodlust and all this sort of stuff that goes with it. And I'm very close to making the decision. You know what? If it was $5, I'd have it already. I would have quite happily parted with that. But the 15, yes, it's a mobile game. Yes, I'm having a lot of fun with it. But it's a lot for a mobile game.
Well, mind you, I paid the $15 for Super Mario Run. So that's similarly priced. I mean, look, it all depends on... Do you have that thing where in your head you're like, oh, what if I pay the $15 and I stop playing it tomorrow?
Yeah, I think that's what it is.
Yeah. You're like, I don't want to waste... I mean, there's two ways to look at it.
Could have paid it last week and I would have got my money's worth already.
Well, yeah, that's right.
Look, here's the thing, right? You can look at it one of two ways. You can say, I can pay the $15 and I'll stop playing it. And that's a waste of $15. Or you can look at how much you've played it and go, is the time I've already spent on it worth the $15, even if I stop playing it tomorrow?
Well, it's one of those things too. It's actually quite in depth. I couldn't believe how much extra there is in it. So there's like a full trading system within it too. So what you can do is every time you level up your Bloodlust, you get a crate to open.
Yeah.
So you go and open that crate and you get... I'm at the stage now where every time I open a crate, I'm getting 3 different weapons. And of those 3 weapons, you start to double up with weapons that you've got and you go into change and switch between them. And like your standard weapons, you trade out 3 for 1 silver level weapon. And then you can trade 3 silvers for a gold level weapon. And so there's all these little intricacies in the background that's probably where I'm debating the most, whether I go with it or not, or, you know, how much more... You know, when I first started playing it, it was quite a challenge. I'm at the point now where the daily challenges, I'm just, every time I pick it up, first go, I'm done. You know, once you've got that sort of mentality on how to process it and how to go 4 steps ahead of where you are, it just flies through. So I'm in an R-ing, but at the end of the day, I've had a lot of fun with it.
Getting into these mobile games, I picked up a couple of mobile games this week. One's an oldie but a goodie. I've played this one years ago and keep coming back to it. But you guys, I'm sure, have played Words with Friends.
Yep, totally.
Yeah, I've picked that up again. Started playing that and realised how terrible I am at it again. I need to sort of get back into the swing of it. But a new one that I picked up this week is called Plank. And it's a strange...
It's one where you hold your finger down and it grows the plank and you got to span the gap.
Yeah. Yeah, you know about it?
Yeah. I've seen it. I've thought about playing it, but I haven't picked it up yet.
Yeah, I've got like 100 games on my phone now. Did I find that, or did Rem tell me to get that one last week?
I'm going to suggest that you've picked it up off an ad from one of the ones that Rem's told you to get. It probably stopped.
Yes, I think that is what happened. I think
that's where I've seen it. It's been in the ads of stop. It's a very simple concept. It's just
very simple.
You push your finger on the screen, and you're like your little dude's on a platform, and it grows this plank, and then when you take your finger off, it drops it, and you hope that you've hit it enough to span the gap onto the next platform, so your little dude walks across and you got to do it again until you get to the end of the level.
Yeah, but if you grow it too far, your guy keeps walking off the edge and falls and dies.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah. Not a bad game. Give that a go if you like your mobile games.
I haven't played it, but there's a similar game where what you do is you grow a line, and then it has to be long enough to trace a shape. There's like a predetermined shape on the screen, and you've got to hold the line, and then you let go, and then it wraps your line around the shape, and you've got to get within the certain distance towards the end to pass the level.
What is that? Do you know what it's called?
Oh, no, but I'll find it for you, and I'll flick it to you because it's the same premise. It's just a different way of doing it.
Yeah, I like the sound of that. You need these simple games that are really easy to play, are good on your phone, because playing the intricate games on a small phone screen is not. I don't really like it. It's not very user friendly. I'd prefer like maybe the iPad for those ones. But for a quick fix on your phone, these simple ones where you're literally just tapping the screen, they work really well.
I've got one for you. I can play one finger. That's how simple this game is. So when I'm feeding Zoe, I play this game because I can just tap the screen with one finger. It's called Mr. Gun.
Mr. Gun,
Mr. Gun. So you play as a little character who has to carve up a bunch of enemies on this sort of, you're walking upstairs to these levels. At the top of each flight of stairs there's an enemy, and your gun pans up and down, and when you think that it's targeted at the dude, you tap the screen and he shoots. If you hit him, you kill him, and you move up the flight of stairs to the next landing, where you can then shoot the guy at the top of the next set of stairs until you make your way up to the boss, and then you have to shoot him a couple times. If you miss, they then take a shot at you, and they always hit you, so you die, right? And you have to start again. But essentially, you can literally just sit there and tap the screen with your finger. Like your gun will pan up and down indefinitely until you hit the screen. So it's not like you're on a timer or anything like that. At least not that I've noticed, because I haven't waited. I can usually kill them in like 1 or 2 pans. And you just sit there and you tap the screen. It's really easy to play. You can literally just hold the phone in your hand and play with your thumb, or lie it on your lap and just hit the button in between grabbing the bottle. I've enjoyed it.
I've just finished the first level. I'm playing it as we speak. It's that easy. There you go. Don't die though, because you'll cop an ad. I had an ad play before I even got a chance to have a go.
Yeah, right. It's always worth a shot. I've been playing that for a couple of weeks now. So.
Cool. Yeah, it's not a bad game, man. Cheers for that one. Right, Snoogs, what about you?
I've got a public service announcement, actually.
Oh, bring it on.
So, all revolving around good old Fortnite. Fortnite's latest update has caused a few issues on PC. It caused it for me personally as well, so I had to find a workaround for it, where it just wouldn't load. It just come up with an error. I think it was error 0006 or something along those lines, and just refused to load. I re-updated, reinstalled, still wouldn't do it. Apparently there's an issue with the new update conflicts with something in the anti-cheat program that's being done. So you've got to go into the sub-files within the actual game file on the PC and rerun the install for the anti-cheat. And Bob's your uncle, all good to go. Just a bit of a service announcement. And the other thing is with Fortnite is the countdown is officially on until it's released on Android. So it's only on iOS at the moment. Sorry, iOS.
I heard that it was out.
It is on Samsung devices only.
Ah.
So mine is a Razer phone.
Yeah.
And I signed up for it. I have the installer sitting on the desktop on the phone. Yeah, just waiting for it to go live, which should be in the next week or so.
You haven't played it on mobile yet?
No, I've played PUBG on it, on the Razer, and runs beautifully. It's a bit of fun. So I thought I'd give... It's literally just to have a go of it, just because I want to see how it runs.
You'll have a go, and that'll probably be the last time.
That's exactly right. And that's what I did with PUBG. I didn't even finish a round. I think I killed 7 people and went, yeah, okay, these are bots. It's no point. Done.
Hey, Doom Eternal was released this week.
And the buttons on the screen.
Oh.
What's the button on the screen? What? Oh.
Am I back now?
Yeah, I can hear you now.
Yeah.
Doom Eternal gameplay revealed this week. Remember when I said that it's going to be exactly the same as Doom 2016?
Yes, but no.
Well, I said that, and I think I was right. It's Doom 2016.
But let's be honest, it's the same as Doom 1996, just prettier.
Yeah, but it's going to be the exact same.
But that's what Doom is.
No. I don't mean the gameplay or anything. Like, it's just all... It's basically going to be the exact same. It's going to be an add-on.
Well, depends what you mean by that. Because I think, I think, well, Pat's about to cover it, but I think they've changed it enough where it's going to be a slightly different game.
Well, yeah, it's going to be like essentially a sequel. But if you look at the gameplay, like there's no magical leap. Now, if you look at the previous Doom to the Doom 2016, it's a big difference. It's it's a new engine, it's the new graphical style. This new Doom is going to be Doom 2016 with new weapons, new enemies, new levels, and everything else will be pretty much the same. There's
a few new combat tweaks as well.
Yeah, maybe some different animations.
Some of the features that have come out of it. So it's so Doom Guy or the Doom Slayer, you're now classified as version 2.0. So you have updated armor, an arsenal of new and improved equipment. It's got a shoulder-mounted cannon with a flamethrower, extendable blade, and a new dash ability. So meaning overall you're faster and deadlier. Got a meat hook attachment.
Which
like the sound of that?
Which is awesome, I have to say.
Meat hook attachment, so you pull yourself up. You shoot it into the enemy, pull yourself up in a point blank and punch the living snot out of them.
Yeah, right.
You can also use it to vault yourself into the air. Like say you've got a cacodemon, you can grab them, vault, let go, and vault yourself across the map kind of thing, and land somewhere completely different, or vault the vault. Also, something they didn't mention at QuakeCon, but I didn't notice while the gameplay was on, you now have a double jump ability.
Okay, yep.
So you kind of jump, and then you can do another jump. And I noticed at one point he almost did a triple jump, but I assume there was some other mechanic at play to allow it. I didn't quite notice it. I wanted to go back and watch it and work out how he did it, but I just didn't have time before we started this. So, but yeah, you seem to be a lot more mobile than you were in the last game. Like I said, there's this double jump feature. You've now got this meat hook that can pretty much fling you across the map. You've got the dash that you seem to use a lot now, just getting out of the way of stuff and getting around enemies. They've pumped out a bunch of revamped enemies from Doom 2. So the Arachnotron's back, the Pain Elemental's back, and a bunch of other...
The Arc-Vile.
The Arc-Vile, yeah. The Arc-Vile played a big sort of last climactic piece at the end of the trailer. And you've got a sword. That's new. And the melee sword on your arm, that thing's pretty epic too. Essentially it's more just for those glory kills. So they're just changing up the animation of the glory kills a bit, but still there's something cool about slicing stuff as opposed to punching it.
Very Doom-esque way, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm not quite sure you guys are fully understanding the point I'm making by saying that it's Doom 2016 upgraded.
Yeah, that's what we're kind of expecting. If you were expecting anything else, I think you're always going to be disappointed.
Yeah.
Well, there is one new feature. You know, there's new bits and pieces, and like you said, new animations, kind of how they're doing it. But there is one new feature where you can actually allow real players.
Oh yes.
To invade your campaign as demons, become the zombie or something in Dying Light. Look,
be the zombie.
Be the zombie. Yeah. So very much similar to that, where you can actually allow friends or randoms or whatever to actually invade as you're going through your campaign. They can invade your campaign as a demon. That's awesome. And then you can obviously do it yourself as well, which I think would be absolutely brilliant. I've done be the zombie a couple of times, and it's a lot of fun.
Well, hopefully they implement it a little bit better than Be the Zombie, because before they fucked up with the release date for Dying Light, that was actually going to be a pre-order bonus only. Be the Zombie, if you remember that far back.
Yeah, I remember that actually.
But they screwed up and it got delayed, and they ended up giving it to everyone as a "we're sorry" sort of thing. But look, I just want to quickly get this out to say it. I haven't had a chance. You guys keep going off on tangents. But my point, the point I wanted to make by saying that it is just an upgraded same thing as last time is that I don't know why everyone was like hanging on the edge of their seats about the gameplay being released. Like, it's going to be great to play, but you're not really going to get it from watching something, because it's going to look like the same game.
I watched it,
but it's on Earth now,
and some of the new levels that they showed, they're not what we've seen in Doom before. Like, there's some really pretty and unusually color paletted levels for Doom. Like, if you think about the color palette that Doom has had until this time, it's usually been steel
and
blood
red.
That's pretty much been it. Steel and blood red. And so
I'm not hanging.
Red.
I'm not hanging off the edge of my seat to see what new color palette's being used. I didn't understand the big hype about seeing gameplay when we'd already seen a little bit of it.
Look, I wasn't I wasn't hanging off the edge of my seat to watch it, but when I watched it, I did giggle and I did enjoy myself watching it, because I was like, that does look awesome. All those new things that I can now do, and they did a really good job of pretty much highlighting the fact that these are all the new things. That's essentially what the trailer was. It wasn't trying to show you the same stuff. It essentially just spent the entire time going, look at everything you can do now that you couldn't do before. Everyone else, you watch it, you make your own decision. You let us know in the comments below.
Well, let's move on to something else. I'm sick of Doom.
Yeah, well, the big reason that we're talking about Doom is because this past weekend, QuakeCon was on over in the US. Anyone catch any of it?
Yeah, I did a crash course this afternoon. I watched all the trailer videos.
Yeah, so the two big things, the two other things that are probably the biggest ones. So there's been an expanded look at Rage 2 and the stuff for Doom, obviously. But also Quake Champions has officially launched its free-to-play version. Now,
permanently.
Which is now permanently launched. Now, for anyone...
Permanently free is what I was saying.
Yeah, permanently free. So anyone that's got the ability to play it, please get over and play it. Because I've tried to numerous times this week and haven't been able to get a game. Straight up deathmatch, haven't been able to connect to anyone.
And to be fair, I've kind of not really paid that much attention to it since they've been banging on about it for years, the last couple of years now. Because when they first said it's going to be on PC, and I was just like, all right, well, I don't care because I don't play PC anymore.
Mm-hmm.
So I just didn't want to tease myself. But because I was obviously watching stuff for QuakeCon, I watched the trailer for it, and I was like, oh my god, it looks just... I mean, when I say this, take a grain of salt. It looks just like Quake did when I was playing it as a teenager.
Yeah.
It's just prettier, but it moves, it feels... I almost went, maybe I should buy a PC.
Quake,
look at it this way.
Quake Champions plays exactly like Quake plays.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it is great.
I had Roy Boy come over on Friday night, so he came over to watch football with me. And before the footy started, we had a few rounds of Quake, and he doesn't play PC anymore. Him and I both grew up playing on the PC, playing Quake when we were younger. And I said, "Oh, here you go, have a crack." He's like, "Oh, I don't know what I'm doing anymore." So just leave it, just hold on a sec. And yeah, within a couple of minutes, unfortunately, we could only get a game where we were playing with bots, but it worked anyway. So yeah, within a few minutes of him playing, everything was back. It just felt, and he said numerous times, it feels exactly like it always felt.
Yep.
So, yeah.
I got that just from watching the video. It was just like the way it moved, the way the jumps, the way the other enemies moved, the way the weapons. Yeah. It just all of a sudden I just went, oh my goodness, and made me kind of click back to the last time I probably played Quake, which wasn't last time. Was probably when I first met my wife. When we were dating, she used to play it on a laptop while she was studying in electrical engineering. Yeah.
The only other thing I've got, Elder Scrolls Online, the Wolf Hunter DLC, is being launched for PC on August the 13th. I haven't watched the new launch trailer. I haven't played a lot of Elder Scrolls Online, unfortunately. I just don't have the time to put into it that's necessary, but it is a bit of fun when I do.
Yeah, look, it looks like it's werewolves. For those that haven't watched it yet, they're just adding a new werewolf thing to it. It's what you expect from Elder Scrolls with werewolves. There'll be people that play werewolves. There'll be people out to kill the werewolves. I did watch the Fallout and the Rage 2 demos as well. So Fallout 76, essentially they went through and they just did an extended view on the special and the leveling and perk system that they've got. So essentially what you do now, so the level cap is at 50, and what you'll do now is every time you level up, you'll be able to pick a point to spend on each, like one of the specials. So strength, perception, endurance, charisma, intelligence, what's A? Something. I can't remember now. AL. Luck. Luck is the last one. I can't remember what A is. It'll come to me. Anyway, so you'll get to pick a point on and put it on one of those. So let's say strength. Once you put the point on there, you then get to pick a card. There'll be a card that you'll be able to pick. There'll be a range of them. You'll be able to pick one, and that will essentially become a perk that is placed within that feature, that piece of the special puzzle. As you go through, you'll get more cards. You can also spend the points on upgrading the cards that you've already got. Each card you can rack up to, I think they said you can rack them up to about 5 levels. Each branch of the special is capped at 15 points. So that's actually new. That used to be capped at 10 for all the others. It's now they've now bumped that up to 15. So essentially you can have 3 cards. You can collect 3 cards for each one and have 5 points on them each, or you can have, I don't know if there's a cap on how many cards you can have, but you could possibly have 15 cards with all 1 point each on them, kind of thing. And you'll be able to adjust that as you go. They're kind of trying to create a scenario where you'll create a baseline of a player, and then you'll tweak little things about it depending on what you're doing. Whether you're playing by yourself, you'll add like Lone Wanderer perks, things that help improve your gameplay when you're playing by yourself, and then stuff that when you're with a group of players, you probably turn a lot of that stuff off because it doesn't really work while you're playing with a team. So you'll turn on more team-based boosting stats kind of thing. They went through that a bit more.
A is agility.
Agility. Good. Thank you.
I just opened up Fallout Shelter.
There we go. Yeah, look, so there's a bit more of that. There's a bit more to watch, I'm sure.
The big question is, has it changed your mind?
Look,
this extra bit of information and showing you more about how they're doing that, how they're focusing on the change that they're putting into the special to make it a more not only user friendly but online friendly. Has it changed your thoughts?
So here's where I'm at with it. I get some of the changes, and I get why it needs to be the way it is, because it's now a multiplayer game. You do need to be able to change stuff on the fly to set up between, even multiplayer versus playing by yourself. And I think they talked a little bit about the charisma perk, which is the C. A lot of that, if you think about other Fallout games you've played, a lot of the perks that are around that would be completely useless in a multiplayer game because there's no NPCs now. You're playing with other people. So your charisma checks won't work the same. So what they've done is the charisma line is really more focused around making your team better. So as a leader, as a charismatic leader, you would incite better things out of your team, and that's kind of what they're going for, I think. So I get that. I like the fact that they've capped it at 50. Now, they've done that not because they believe in a level cap. They've already proven that with the last couple of games they've brought out. They're doing that purely to stop that ramping power curve when you've got a bunch of people playing online together. You know, the people that smash out like 700 hours a week somehow, they're not just walking around like gods, just, you know, clicking their fingers and people are turning to dust kind of thing. So that's good, but they're not stopping you from leveling up. They've just capped you at 50, and then each time you level up after that, you just have the ability to get more cards. Here is where they lose me. You're still getting all the perks. Once again, you're taking the role-playing out of an RPG, which is you choose a path and stick to it. Now you can choose everything and be every path and that's what I fail to... That's what I miss about this game. I can't just be an intelligent sniper. I can be an intelligent sniper 1 minute and then a dumb brute the next, just by changing out a few cards. And I find that hard to deal with. Because for me, that's not Fallout. And I get that most people won't care. That's just my personal opinion about it. So, no, it really hasn't changed how I feel about it. Having said that, I am curious to play it purely because I want to see how it works as a multiplayer game. There is that element of I am curious to see how they've made this work for a multiplayer, because I'm never going to get the Fallout I want in a multiplayer universe because there's just stuff that doesn't work. And I think they've found creative ways of getting around that, and I'm curious to see how that plays out. So for that reason, I'm curious, but no, I'm not chomping at the bit to play this game.
Ah, fair enough.
However,
did Rage show anything off?
Yes, and this is what I was about to say. However, Rage 2, I am chomping at the bit to play that damn game.
Yeah, so what extra did it show that we haven't seen yet?
So vehicle combat, they showed that off. The big part of Rage, the first Rage, was vehicle combat. They've brought that back, and as they've said themselves, they've doubled down on it. Each faction will have their different types of cars. You'll have your car, you'll drive around, you'll be able to drive whatever car you can get your hands on, essentially. Blow the shit out of stuff. They've got convoy runs. This is becoming kind of a theme with vehicle combat and open world sort of settings, where there'll be these convoys driving around. There'll be like a hub boss vehicle with a lot of little sentry vehicles running around. You'll have to pick off all the sentry vehicles, and then you'll be able to shoot and blow up the boss, essentially.
Well, in a bit more of a summary too, all the stuff from QuakeCon, get over to AussieGamersExpress.com and check out all the details over there. So I'll have some information, some video clips, a bit of everything from the weekend.
Another big reveal this week, which is something that I understand the hype on this one. Red Dead Redemption 2 released its gameplay footage, and it has lovely horses, and it's definitely more of Red Dead Redemption. So,
I read something very funny about Red Dead Redemption today.
What'd you read?
So someone's got a still from the trailer, blown up the still, and then put this little caption underneath it, saying that, what are their names? Who makes Red Dead? Rockstar. Yeah. Rockstar have spent more time on this certain thing than EA did. EA allowed BioWare to spend on the faces and facial animations in Mass Effect. This one little bit that they were blowing up, though, was the horse's testicles.
Oh, I didn't even see the horse's testicles. They don't have testes.
It's amazing.
So someone's gone about and they've paused it and blown it up. They've spent more time on the testicles than BioWare was allowed to.
But it's Rockstar. We knew they were going to do that anyway. So
yeah. So, that's
funnily enough, I actually just watched. I only just watched this trailer today, just before the show. Mainly because I didn't care. I'm like, I'm going to buy this game anyway. I don't give a fuck what the trailer has in it. I'm buying this game because I love the first one so much.
The trailer nearly
but I did
made
watch it and
pre-order it.
Well, I was going to pre-order it anyway, but now I'm almost like,
the testicles. Yeah.
I'm watching it.
I'm going to do it anyway.
Yeah.
I'm watching it. There's a YouTube video and they just zoom in on the nuts. Red Dead Redemption 2 horse testicles confirmed.
But how good was the trailer?
It looked phenomenal.
The gameplay looks great. It looks like Red Dead Redemption 2 in current generation.
Yeah, it looks brilliant.
Yep.
I could always remember there was one of those things. Red Dead Redemption was one of those that I can remember very specific parts of it.
Yep.
And for years, I had a photo that I took off the TV screen of me sitting on the horse with the sunset in the background, and it was just absolutely phenomenal. And I can always remember those visuals and the movements of the muscles on the horse's legs.
Yes, that was
phenomenal.
That's my biggest memory, and I still think today I've never seen a mount horse as good.
No.
Roach, I think it is. Is it Roach from The Witcher? Comes close, but I still don't think it was better than Red Dead's horses.
No, their horses were on point.
Amazing.
But I remember how beautiful Red Dead was and playing it. But then when I watched this trailer and when he was walking through the forest and it had that mist, I was like, holy shit, that looks amazing. Like that has a whole feel right there. That had a whole feel that I never felt in the first Red Dead. I just looked at it and went, that's fucking amazing. That looks, I was just like, put me there. I want to find out what's in the mist. Let's go.
Yeah, it looks amazing. So yes, the gameplay footage is out now. Go and check it out. You'll find it absolutely everywhere. All right, just quickly, a little bit of attention towards the chat. Not too much, but Kazakyle is listening live. Thanks, buddy. Thanks for coming along. And he gave us some suggestions as to what the A stands for in special. It's not aggressiveness.
Agriculture.
It's not agriculture. It's not awesomeness. Snoogs, it's not anal.
Yeah, I put that in the wrong chat.
Yeah, it's not Rockstar, dude. If Rockstar made Fallout, then sure. Yeah. It would be anal.
But yes, I played a new game this week. Well, a new game for me anyway. Mafia 3, because it was part of the PlayStation Plus free games for the month. And I started playing it. I put maybe about 45 minutes into it before I had to pack up stumps. Seems like a pretty solid game. Story feels like the real hero. Like the gameplay is really open world sort of shooter, fighting sort of game, like a GTA clone, but not quite there. But the story seems pretty cool. The characters in it are really cool, and it feels really deep as well. So the Mafia games have been, like I played Mafia 2, and I couldn't put that game down. But yeah, I'm not so sure about Mafia 3. Good, but nothing mind-blowing as yet.
Is this the one with a soldier that comes back from Vietnam?
Yes.
Yep.
Yeah, comes back from war, and his father's having a bad time with owing some money and all that sort of stuff, and then people start dying, and so it goes with the whole Mafia side of things. Last week, Rem told us about the game Stop. I've been playing that a fair bit with my wife, and also you guys, Rem and you, Greg.
Yep.
And that's a really good game. I recommend that. I recommend that. I paid the $5 or whatever to get rid of those stupid ads. Because
having said that, I don't find them all that intrusive though.
No, they're not terribly intrusive, but for me, if it's a game I'm actually going to play a fair bit of, they will do my head in.
Unlike Looper, Like,
No, Looper is shit. I won't. I've deleted that. That gave me the shit. It's a good game, but too many ads.
When I first played it, I seemed to like. It's almost like the first playthrough. They're just like they try and give you as few ads as possible. So I didn't remember there being that many ads. And then the second time I came back to play it, it was just like every time you fail or every time you start a new level, it just seems like any time you do anything, you need an ad. And I was like, I don't remember it being this invasive, but it's stopped me from playing the game.
Yes, and the game's not good enough to pay to get rid of the ads. Like, it's a good game, but it's not that good. Whereas something like Stop, that is good quality. I like that.
Yeah.
So I recommend that one. I got some news here about... did you hear about the IGN reviewer that was sacked over the plagiarism claims?
I did hear about it, but I don't know the actual information for the story.
Now, just so I don't get in trouble for plagiarism, I got this information from Kotaku, okay? So I'm referencing my source. But the IGN reviewer known as Philip Mayusin, I think is how you say his name, he's been fired from his role at IGN after his review of the game called Dead Cells. Now, it caused a bit of controversy. The YouTuber from Boomstick Gaming uploaded a video called IGN copied my Dead Cells review. What do I do? So that sort of gained a little bit of traction. It got back to IGN.
I think you did it. You put it on YouTube.
Yeah, that's what you do. IGN got hold of it, checked it out, and it's too similar to be a coincidence. And I've got a few of the lines here. So I haven't seen the video myself because the video's been removed, but I've got some quotes here from the two videos. So this is the original Boomstick review. I'll read out a line from it. This combat system is fast, fluid, responsive, and one of the most rewarding representations of 2D combat of the entire genre. And now here's the IGN version from Philip. Fights are fast, fluid, responsive, and hands down one of the most gratifying representations of video game combat I have ever experienced.
Yeah.
I shall continue. Back to the original. This is Boomstick. Dead Cells only falters slightly when some repetition's setting in, especially on the early areas and during the longer play sessions. And this is from Philip. Dead Cells does falter slightly with some repetition, but it's only felt in its early areas and during extended play sessions. He's changed the word longer for extended, I guess. Okay, and I've got another example here. This is Boomstick, the original. Dead Cells figures out an intriguing way to have your roguelike and Metroidvania experience all in one by focusing on your failures and encouraging you to try something new the next time. This one's from Philip. Dead Cells strikes a perfect and engaging balance between the Metroidvania and roguelike experiences by focusing your failures and urging you to experiment every time you do fail.
Yeah, okay, that one, yeah.
Yeah.
If you see these in text right next to each other, they are exactly the same sentences. They have just changed keywords to another word. So the bloke's opened up a thesaurus and had a look at, what word can I change for longer? Extended.
Yeah.
It is too similar to be a coincidence. And
Yeah,
yes,
look, I'd accept one of those sentences, but all three together,
Yeah.
you go,
And mind you, there were a lot more examples on this Kotaku website. I've just taken 3 because it would have taken me all night to read them. But if you want to check out the full article from Kotaku, the link is in the description for the podcast. So check it out. There's a whole bunch more, and I read them all, and I'm convinced it was plagiarized. He's watched his review, written it down word for word, and then slightly altered it, but not enough for him to not notice, which is really bizarre for someone to do. Just play the game and put your own thoughts on paper. We do it, and we're just, whatever you want to call it.
Yeah, we're not getting paid to do it.
Amateurs.
That's the biggest thing that's upsetting. So, being that we are content creators and it's something that we do for the love of what we do, having an actual paid position like that that would be brilliant. And the fact that you've gone out and ruined your own reputation and ruined the reputation of, IGN, I just don't fathom why someone would do that. I understand deadlines and shit like that, and people having to push through it and whatnot, but
he's denied it. He's flat out denied it and says that whatever, I didn't copy it. I don't know what's happened there. It was a bit of he's basically claiming coincidence, but it's too similar to be coincidence. Like
the first two that you said, I'm thinking, okay, how did the person who did the original, how do these marry up? Like, how did he work out that these two things marry up? The third one, that kind of pulled them all into context.
Well, let me read it this way. I'm going to read a couple of words from Boomstick and a couple of words from IGN, okay? So this combat system is fast, fluid, and responsive. Fights are fast, fluid, and responsive. Okay, so that's the two lines. And then here's Boomstick again. And one of the most rewarding representations of 2D combat. Hands down, one of the most gratifying representations of video game combat. It's the same thing. And
the fact that he actually hasn't changed his sentence structure at all.
No, it hasn't changed his sentence structure at all. It's just keywords. But sometimes I will watch other people's reviews. If there's a review out already for a game that I'm reviewing, I will watch other people's reviews to see what points that they're pointing out. And that's part of learning how to do a good review, right? So I will watch it and I go, he's making a comment about the lighting. Okay. And I'll go back and I'll have a look at the game and go, is the lighting striking, like he says, And then if I find that, okay, yeah, the lighting in this game is actually pretty impressive, I may mention the lighting in my review. But I'm not going to take what he said and say that. I'll put it into my own words and explain how I feel about how the lighting is. There's that, but then there's just flat out writing down what they've said, which is, I think, clearly what's happened here. So he's lost his job. I think rightly so, because he's kind of cheating, stealing other people's work. Plagiarism is against the law in a lot of places, so he's
likely to just lost his job.
Yeah, that's right. He could be sued. But yeah, there you go. That happened. Check it out. Make up your own mind. If you want to leave some comments on our Discord or Facebook about it, we'll see what you say. But I think that's everything from me this week. I haven't had a very exciting week.
Nor I. The only other stuff I've done... I played some Rainbow Six Siege last night.
Do you have any wins?
No. I raged bad.
Why? What happened?
Bad rage. I haven't played it for a long time, and everything felt sluggish. One of the recent updates that has been done, it has reset all of my settings for the control setup.
Right, okay.
That was the first level to just piss me off, because it took me forever to get them to how I wanted them. And because I haven't played it for so long and haven't looked at it for so long, I've got no idea what they were. So it's back to the drawing board, tweaking it. And anyway, I'm getting through, and we're playing a lot of 5-round games, because we get out in front and win two off the bat, and then get run down and lose 3-2. And then in the last game that I played, it was second round. We'd smashed the first one. I got 3 out of 5 kills and was going really well. But one of the guys, or two of them, were taking pot shots at each other. And so
on the same team?
On the same team.
Oh, that's shit when that happens.
They were swearing and carrying on. And then, so the first round we were defending, second round we were attacking. Anyway, we've come up to the attacking round, and we've these two are doing the big standoff with guns pointed at each other and then taking shots. And anyway, I've run off, and one of them shot, and it's tagged me. Now, it hasn't tagged me enough to drop me. It dropped me down to 50% health, and that was it. I turned around, absolutely blasted out, play the fucking game, and just completely and utterly lost it. I may have shot 2 people and got booted.
Yeah, look, that happened to me
when you say may have been booted, you got booted.
Yeah.
That happened to me when I was playing with Stick Figure. And it got to the point where, you know, in some games you'll play and it takes ages to get into a game or whatever. It was almost like this. We were getting into games, but it takes ages to get into a game where people just don't team kill at the start, just as a troll. What Siege needs to do is make it one team kill, booted. And then if you do a team kill again in the same hour or so, you can't play anymore tonight. Whether it's an accident or not, you're out.
See, I agree with if you team kill at the start of the round. So obviously it gets to the point in the round where it's very tight quarters, it's very claustrophobic, like a borderlines on claustrophobic how you're doing it, and it's ridiculously tense. And occasionally you can be aiming down sights, pull off a shot, and someone steps in front of you. That's
a good solution, though. Yeah, if they have it like
if you've got, say, the first, so say the first 30 seconds, 45 seconds of a round, if you're one of these dickheads that spawns in and drops people, then out you go. Yeah, because it was ridiculous. It absolutely ruins it. But other than that, the update is sick. There's new updates to the UI. Don't think the release of the new Hereford base is out yet. I think that's coming shortly. Yeah, and then there's a new operation, something to do with Paris, I think, coming up. That was my rage for the week. Felt good afterwards.
All right. Greg, did you play anything else this week?
Funnily enough, I played Doom because it's on Game Pass now.
Oh, yes.
So I downloaded the other day. I had a crack at it today. I played the first 2 levels because that's about how much time I had to play. And, look, I mean, it's been out for a while, so there's nothing revelationary I could say. I enjoyed it.
Oh, that you reminded me that I don't know why this reminded me, but I played Ruiner. Remember you were talking about Ruiner last week?
Yes. What do you think?
No, I don't like it. It's a very good game. I'm not going to bag it out. I don't know. I don't like that the melees are super powerful and the weapons feel underpowered. I don't know if that changes later, but it
is a bit. I found myself doing just a lot of that dash melee, and I have a funny feeling that's kind of the mechanic they want you to favor.
Yeah,
it feels like that's what they're aiming for you to do.
Yeah, I know. I just wasn't a big fan of that whole dash thing. I like a twin stick shooter to be, firing your bullets and dodging theirs and moving and being. When it's just flat out, just hitting the button to like dash or whatever. I didn't enjoy that.
Yeah, look, I found like all the moderate weapons, anything moderate or lower, I didn't even bother with. I just dash fight. When I got bigger weapons like flamethrowers and miniguns and stuff like that, then I was all over it. I was like, yep, just mow people down from a distance and you've got, But I have a funny feeling at the same time, as the levels get harder, you'll find it harder to do that dash attack because, more of them have guns and you'll have to stick to that ranged kind of combat. But
yeah, it's good, but I'm probably not going to go back to it. I didn't like it that much.
Yeah, look, it's an indie game. Like, as much as Devolver is kind of an indie dev, the story, the writing isn't great either. Like, I found that the story is a bit lackluster. As twin stick shooters go, it's average. It's an interesting take on the genre.
All right, well, that'll finish us up then for video game discussion. So let's move into Project What Would You Rather? Okay, Greg, tell us about what we're talking about this week on this one.
I was kind of sitting around thinking, because I said I was going to do Project What Would You Rather, and I was kind of trying to think of something different and a bit out there for things that we prefer in gaming. All of a sudden I had this, and I'll use this example, this thought of Grand Theft Auto. I had this thought about how gaming has evolved, and Grand Theft Auto is actually a really good example of how it's evolved in this particular way. So I came up with games have changed since we now have readily available walkthroughs and gaming manuals and all those, and even just the internet where YouTube videos tell us where everything is and stuff like that. Before that, collectibles and stuff like that were relatively easy. You just had to walk around and look for them, and you would find them. And so they were relatively easy. They were usually maybe on a shelf, usually somewhere within your eye line. You didn't have to go on some crazy adventure to get them. But since we've now evolved into this, everyone knows where everything is. Difficulty now is not in the search, but in the journey to get to them, because we all know where they are. So devs will put them behind these weird and wonderful paths that we have to follow to get to them. So my project, What Would You Rather, is, do you prefer the old way of doing things where you didn't know where everything is, but they were fairly easy? The difficulty was in the search rather than the fun, the collecting. Or do you prefer the new way where it's no longer about the search and more about the path? The difficulty is in the paths you have to follow, or tricks you have to do to get to these things.
I'm pretty passionate about this one. I can understand why people would disagree with me, but I prefer to just to look for these things and not have an entire quest essentially to find a collectible. So I like the idea of having a bit of a look around to find collectibles and getting them. But, you know, there's one thing that really pisses me off in games when it comes to collectibles. And it's the collectibles that you can't get at all on your first playthrough. It's hidden behind a rock wall that you can't open until you progress further in the game and get an explosive which you can bring back. That drives me insane. Riddler trophies give me the shits.
Yep.
It's just too... it's a pain in the ass. It's simply what it is. If I find a collectible, I want to just be able to collect it. I want it to just be hidden. I found it. It's mine. None of this, you can't get this one until you come back because you need a special ability. I get it why people do like that stuff, because it does give them reason to come back and explore more of the game once they've finished it. But if I'm going to go all 100% on a game, I like to do it all while I'm there. I like to 100% an area, move on, 100% an area, move on. But if I can only 80% an area and have to move on, I'm not coming back. Forget it.
Yep.
That shits me. So that's what I prefer. Old school.
Old school.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm pretty much the same. I have become a bit of a trophy whore as I've gotten older. I've spent more time in game looking for collectibles, but I like the older style of collectible where it actually tells a story. Like one of the most recent one that I can remember that was actually really good was The Division, and you had to go and collect and find all the echoes.
Yeah,
so the echoes
Division
were around the city. They went and each one of them told a story, and you got to build this story up. It's the same with God of War. Just recently had the Valkyries challenge. And you go and collect and find all the different Valkyries, and each one of them told another piece of the story. And they weren't overly hard to find. They weren't overly hard to get to, but they didn't pop up on the map. You did have to look for them, and they played another piece of the lore, which is what I enjoyed about it. So I'm not one of these ones for collectibles just for collectibles' sake. I've got to have that old school feel where they actually are a part of the game, not just, a book sitting on a shelf that you've got to find. And the only way you can find it is by reading a guide or watching a YouTube video because someone stumbled across it.
Look, I see the merit of both because, like I said, it's an evolution. It's not, and it's purely an evolution of causality in the fact that because now devs know that 30 seconds after a game is released, and to be fair, it's kind of their own fault because the only way that these come out 30 seconds after the game's released is because they're telling people. So because they know that the first person that achieves all of it is going to make a YouTube video out of this, and they kind of have to make it somewhat challenging so you can have some fun in collecting them. They're trying to keep the fun in the collecting of the game of it. Like before, walking around aimlessly just looking for stuff was fun in itself. I know that sounds boring when I describe it that way, but that's what it was. But then I also think that there's still games that get it wrong. GTA 5 is a good example. Those missions where you had to find stuff with the submarine, if I didn't have a guide to tell me exactly where all those things were, I would have put a gun in my mouth and blown my brains out. That was that boring. Exactly. Because, I'm one of those fastidious people in those kinds of games where I'm like, it's there, I have to do it. That's the point of it being there. But yes, you're right. It was like a good 2 hours of in the submarine circumnavigating the map. But yeah, I literally by the end of it wanted to blow my brains out. It was that boring. So I think they missed the mark there. This is going to be weird because we're all going to agree. I particularly like the older style. I like the older style because it has that. Like I think you both touched on it. There's just this element of it's actually an achievement. You found it. I get that the new version, the sense of achievement is being able to complete the challenge of getting them, even though you know where it is, because they make it hard to get them. If I have to watch a YouTube video, I sort of still think that there's this element of you're disconnected from the game.
What did you say? Something, Pat?
Yeah, I said no. Oh, God.
I thought that's what you referred to. You could hear my mouse moving and clicking. He's like, oh, he's going for the music.
Anyway.
I could hear the wheels turning. Yeah.
Hey, did you guys know that the collectibles in God of War, once you've collected them, they show up in the little, like the warp room on the shelf? I found that out after the game. I saw it on some YouTube video. I'm like, oh, really? I didn't notice. In the room where the is he a dwarf?
Yeah.
Yeah, where that dude is, there's a shelf to the right of him. Apparently all your collectibles stack up on the shelf there, and I had no idea. I never looked.
I didn't know that either. I knew that they showed up on the map, what you've collected, 19 of 20 ravens in this area.
No, yeah, when you go back to that room where the portal is, to the right of where the dwarf is, I can't remember what his name was, there's a set of shelves, and that's where all your collectibles are displayed.
I'm going to have a look.
Yeah, go and have a look.
See, I like that as well about collectibles. It adds something. It's like Fallouts with the bobbleheads.
The bobbleheads.
If you create the little bobblehead thing, it displays all the ones you found.
All right, well, that's Project What Would You Rather, and we've got a text channel on our Discord dedicated to Project What Would You Rather, so if you want to tell us your opinions, go onto there and write it in there. If we see you writing in there, we'll reply.
Definitely. If you agree with this, awesome. If you don't, sod off.
If you agree with us, we'll play this. Just for you.
I feel like I'm floating around in a submarine trying to look for shit on GTA.
I think you all should agree just to get on Snoogs' nerves.
Yeah. Why not? All right.
However, if you all don't agree, then all you guys agree, so therefore we play it anyway. So yeah, cool.
That's right. It's the agreement music, so yeah. All right, let's move on to What's That Sound? Okie dokie. Now, last week, what did we have last week? Was it the Parappa the Rapper?
Yeah, Parappa the Rapper.
Yeah, it was. Okay, there was two. There was the hard one, which is this one. And then there was the easy one. I don't think any of you got it on the hard one, but the easy one, Greg cheated and listened to what was written in the plot. Oh, look, your missus dobbed you in, mate. Rem told us what happened.
She's in a completely different room. She had no idea.
Kick, punch, it's all in the mind. If you want to test me, I'm sure you'll find the things I'll teach ya. Sure to beat ya. Nevertheless, you'll get a lesson from teacher. Now kick.
Now, Greg, you are in a point in your marriage where you still both actually really like each other. And for her to not have your back, mate, I'm taking her word for it.
No, trust me. She's happy to dump me in it. Don't worry about it.
Yeah, okay. But you're also a very trustworthy guy. So I'm going to ask you one time, and I'm going to take your answer and believe you. Did you cheat?
No, I didn't.
Okay, I believe you. I truly don't think you would say. I think you would come clean.
Yeah, right. I would. I seriously would, but I didn't. I promise.
All right, let's listen to this week's What's That Sound? It's you tell me if it's easy or not.
Okay. One more time.
That's it.
Well, it's so short. Do it again. Just.
No, it's not Zoe.
No, it's definitely not Zoe. If Zoe made that noise at 2 o'clock in the morning, I'd be calling an exorcist.
Yeah, we'll bring in the priest.
Yeah. Right. Sorry, love. Get the fuck out of this house.
Oh, the more you play it, the more it loses its effect. I'm starting to lose it now. That's hard.
Yeah, it is.
This could be for like a new car on one of those radio stations. I'll just put it on repeat.
If you left that on, that's quite disturbing. It's either someone falling or someone dying, and funnily enough, the kind of falling that you would die at the end of.
Yes.
Either way, they're dying, but it's just whether they're dying of falling or not is the question.
Pat, do you know what it is?
Yeah. Not really. It's not Earthworm Jim, is it?
No, it's not Earthworm Jim.
Oh.
Wham!
No, I don't know. It's a death sound. Right.
Yeah, it could be. All right, well, that's a hard one. So through to the keeper. Anyone listening at home or in your car, if you think you know what this week's What's That Sound is, send us a message to our Facebook page and we'll send you a free game if you're correct. It's a hard one, though. Good luck. Good luck to you all. All right, let's move into the next segment, which is...
Who dat? Who dat? Who dat? Who dat? Who dat? Who dat?
Beautiful. All right, so who dat? I've got a few who dats for this week. So are you guys ready for the first one?
Who dat? Who dat?
I am female and I was 8 years old when I made my first appearance. For those of you that are new and maybe haven't listened to this before, who dat is basically a who am I. Play along at home. So I'm female. Yep. Okay.
It's like who am I, only it's more street.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. I was rescued
because I have a lot of spread.
Of course you do. I was rescued by a convicted murderer.
This is sounding familiar, but it's not coming to me.
Convicted murderer.
Who dat? Oh, hang on. This is not a... No, don't worry. Keep going. Who dat?
Oh, I wonder if you would have got it. I'm African American.
Oh, is it Clementine?
Yes, it is.
There you go. No, I wouldn't have guessed it the last chance, but as soon as you said that, bam, got it.
Oh, okay. So, you know, that's interesting because I've played... the Clementine is from The Walking Dead, a Telltale game series.
And my next question.
Yeah, I didn't actually know she was an African American. I thought she was like Latino or something. She doesn't.
Yeah, fair enough. And you know, the weird thing is I haven't played that game.
Oh, okay. Yeah, no, there you go.
Just between those three clues, I kind of went, I don't know too many other African American 8-year-olds, so...
Yeah, well, I mean, I only got through 3 of the clues. I'll read the rest of them out, so it doesn't feel like I was a waste of my time. The next one was, due to the way my world has turned, I have been forced to grow up fast. The video game that I'm from is a spin-off from a popular television series. My murderer friend is named Lee, and I fight zombies all the time. And the game I'm from is called The Walking Dead, a Telltale Games series. My name is Clementine. So well done! That one goes to Greg. Alright, so the next one. I am a male, and you probably don't know my real name. My apologies if you actually do. I'm not going to wait for you to say who that. You might know who that is from that.
I'm trying to think. Master Chief.
No, his name's John.
I know his name's John, but some people, you said you might not know his name. Who that?
I'm a fighter.
Blanca.
No.
Who that?
You playing, Snoogs?
Yeah.
All right, next clue, third clue. My fighting styles include Hapkido, Pi-Gua, and Muay Fa.
King.
Who that?
No, it's not King. He doesn't fight any of those.
No, not King.
Right. Who that?
I use a lot of weapons in my fighting styles, and if you know what a kunai is, then you probably know who that.
Weapons. All right.
No Googling what a kunai is either. If you know what it is, that's great.
No, I'm not googling
I
it.
don't even know how to spell it.
I have a good idea how to spell it, but I'm not googling it.
That's the problem with these mobile phones these days. You can't hear the capacitive touch screens when you're tapping away.
All right, who that? Not sure. I'm gonna guess it's a Soul Calibur character, but anyway, keep going.
I appear human, but it's only an illusion.
Oh no, because they kind of put weapons into combat, didn't they? Quan Chi?
Quan Chi. No, not Quan Chi.
Dale Khan.
Not Shao Kahn.
Right, who that?
Alright, get on the buzzers real quick with this one, because I'm about to tell you what a kunai is. A kunai is a spear-like weapon.
Scorpion.
There you go. That is correct. See, I knew it. If you knew what a kunai was, you would get it. There was only one more clue other than giving the actual name of who dat, and it was, after using the kunai, I will shout, "Get over here!" And if you didn't get it from that, I would sack you.
Yeah. Hang on.
Yeah, let's put it this way. If I didn't get it there, Snoogs was probably half a second behind me. Because that's like his favourite Mortal Kombat character. So I feel like I won the round. I feel like I won the game just on the fact that I pipped him on that one.
I didn't hear the first four.
Oh, didn't you? Oh, well, them's the breaks.
Yep.
Bring this last one home, Snoogs. All right. I'm a boy.
Yes, you are.
I'm a
Sonic.
boy. Sonic is not correct.
How dare you assume his gender?
You did just then by saying his.
Oh, you can't win. Oh, dear.
Who that?
Who that?
I'm made out of wool.
Yanni.
Oh, I knew you guys would say Yanni.
I
No.
didn't say Yanni.
Sackboy.
He said Yanni.
Oh, yes! Snoogs! Woo! On the second one. Hey, you've redeemed yourself. Well done.
Hey.
All right, let me read through the rest of them so it's not a waste of time. The next clue was, I may only be little, but I have big potential. And the next one is, yeah. My game is very customizable, and you can only play my games on a PlayStation. I've got a zipper right up the middle of my body, and I live in the pod. I have friends named Toggle, Swoop, and Oddsock. I am Sackboy. Well done, Snoogs. Well, two out of three. Greg gets that one, but we'll give Snoogs a half point, just for being a good sport, even though he didn't hear half of the second one.
Just for turning up.
Alrighty, well let's move on to last words. All right, I guess this is where we'll explain who the said that. And I think, Snoogs, was it you? You said you know the game, just not the character?
Yes.
What game?
I think the character was like the overseer or something.
Nah.
Nah. but yeah, I know the game.
Well, come on.
What was the phrase?
Oh yeah, I should re-say it. Hey, the right man in the wrong place can make all of the difference in the world. Come on, come on.
That is, sorry, BioShock. Isn't
wow, you built that up to get it wrong.
What?
Nice.
Don't tell me I've had another one of those Donkey Kong moments.
Fallout 76. No, it's not Half-Life. It's Half-Life, I mean.
What? I'm confused now. What game is it?
It's Half-Life.
Okay, it's Half-Life. Okay.
It's not BioShock. I mixed up my words there. But yes, it's not BioShock. It's Half-Life.
Well, at one point you said Fallout 76, so then I was...
Yeah. I was referring to Snoogs' brain fart.
There we go.
You right, Snoogs? Was your mind blown? Are you Googling it to make sure I'm not wrong?
I dropped out again.
Oh, right.
I don't know what's going on. Something's weird happening tonight.
It's G-Man from Half-Life. There is a big quote that is in BioShock that I think you're thinking of. It's something like, "A man chooses and a slave obeys." That's what you're thinking of, isn't it?
Yeah.
And that was, I can't remember his name.
Creator of Rapture, whatever his name was.
Yeah. It's not Comstock, is it?
No.
No, it's a normal name. It's like
Yeah. It's yep.
It's quite a normal name. Like it's a Joe Bloggs kind of name almost.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm gonna have to find out who it is.
Well, while he's doing that, this week's code word is agriculture.
Agriculture. Okay. Andrew Ryan is his name.
That's who I was thinking of. Yeah.
That's what I reckon. A man chooses and a slave obeys. No,
there's another one where he says it very similar.
Oh, possibly. But no, the right man in the wrong place can make all the difference in the world. So listen up, Mr. Freeman, or Dr. Freeman, or whatever he calls him. Is that I obviously truncated that quote to get rid of the Freeman part because Gordon Freeman is from Half-Life. Yeah, so that was G-Man. All right, so the next poll of the week that we're going to be putting up on our Facebook page, if you want to get onto that one, is do you like the idea of the halfway or the mid-generation upgrades to consoles? So it's going to be something along the lines of, yes, I like a bit of boost halfway through, or no, it's just more money every time that happens. So jump on to our Facebook page. By the time you're listening to this, the poll of the week will be up there, and go and have your say before we record next week's show. Leave a comment. I'm going to pick the comment of the week and read it out. So there you go. And we will discuss it next week. So what was it? Agriculture.
Agriculture.
Is that what A stands for in special?
Yep, totally.
Does tonight.
I think they should change it to agriculture.
Okay, so the code word is agriculture, but we will accept anal.
You might accept it. I require dinner.
I require
dinner. I at least want dinner. So
yeah,
at the very least.
I'm not fussy. If people listen to the show, I'll take anal as a code word. Oh dear, so much innuendo. Any other last words, guys?
I'm not sure that's innuendo. Is just flat out living in the gutter.
That's not innuendo. That's innuendo.
See, that's just wordplay. Anyway, no, not really. Just kick on, have a good week of gaming.
You know what I can't wait for? A decent game to come out. No, move on from the anal. No, a decent game to come out. I'm hanging for Spider-Man.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
What am I hanging for? Rage 2, Red Dead 2.
Yeah, but they're too far away.
And Forza 4. Well, Forza 4's October.
Red Dead's October.
Red Dead's just before it.
If Spider-Man's September 7, isn't it?
Yeah, next month.
Yeah, so that's the next one. So I'm gagging for a game, so I'm getting Spider-Man. And it looks good. Oh, geez, a burp squeezed out while I was trying to talk. It looks good, but on top of that, I'm hanging for a frigging game to come out, man. So I reckon this game's going to sell well for that reason. We've had a pretty quiet spell of brand new AAA games. So I reckon Spider-Man is going to just bring in the sales.
And how sexy is the PS4 version of it?
It looks nice.
Like the actual PS4 Pro.
I'm thinking whoever was previously in charge of the PlayStation Special Editions obviously retired or died of old age or something. Got sacked because they're actually making decent Special Editions now. How crap were they in the past?
Why couldn't he done that before I got my Destiny 2 one?
Which is just white.
Yeah, well, it had a Destiny 2 box. Come on.
Yeah, a fancy box that you put in the cupboard or throw in the bin.
It's fucking gone. It's gone.
Didn't have little gold bits on it or something?
No, that's what I was expecting until I opened it and it was the box inside another box.
How good would that have been if it had the 3 logos on it from the factions or the
nice little logos? That's it.
Yeah, but they've done crap. But these ones I've seen now that are coming through, they actually look pretty fancy, pretty good.
That's because Xbox did it better.
Well, they do. They always have.
Yeah. I should put up pictures of my Xboxes.
Yeah.
Yes, you have some good ones, don't you, Greg?
Yeah. I mentioned them last week, didn't I?
There's a way you can say that the Xbox do better special edition consoles without sounding like a fanboy.
No, that was the point. The point was to
Xbox does it better.
Actually, I said it under my breath, like I was like doing it under cover. Like, Xbox doing better. That was what I was achieving.
Bloody fanboys.
Well, in the world of special editions, I'm going to fanboy over the PlayStation 500 million. That's right, you heard that right, folks. 500 million units under the PlayStation name have been shipped. And to celebrate, PlayStation came out with that beautiful console. Have you seen it?
Yeah, like the translucent...
Yeah, it's like a translucent blue. It comes in a box that's see-through. It's the camera that it comes with, the controller. It's all the same finish. You can get the gold wireless headsets as a secondary buy. That's the same finish as well. It's got the nice copper plaque on the front. It looks absolutely stunning. And it's sold out in about 3 minutes.
90s. Do you want your console back?
Very much so, but...
And it's more expensive than an X.
Like $699. Like, come on. Yeah. That's what it went for in Australia. And it sold out in a matter of minutes.
Like, mind you, it's more expensive because it's got a 2 terabyte hard drive.
Nice.
And it comes with...
nice to look at.
Comes with a camera, doesn't it?
Yes. We just said that, didn't we? It comes with a Cleary camera.
Oh, I don't know. Probably wasn't listening. We may be on iHeartRadio in a couple of weeks as well.
Oh, really?
Yeah, so we might be hitting that audience there, which might bring in a few more people that are keen to have a listen.
Do we have to have the Heart Radio in front of it?
I don't think so. I don't know. But we're on Spreaker already now, and Spreaker should be pushing it to iHeartRadio, but they gave me a thing saying it could be 2 weeks before iHeartRadio approve having our podcast on there. So,
Sexist comment at the end? Nope.
If I'm not allowed to say the things I say on this podcast, then fuck them. That's what I say.
They're going to listen to the first 20 seconds and go, "Oh, who the beep said that? Oh, good. They cancel out anything like that."
Real extensive vetting goes on there.
Yeah, they've got a good sensor.
Yeah, it's all good.
Yeah, tricking them. False sense of security. Don't listen to the rest. All right. That's all I've got. I reckon we've waffled on long enough. Let's get going. What do you reckon? Unless you guys got anything?
No.
One last bit of news: the Overwatch Summer Games is on now until the 31st of August.
Cool.
I tried Overwatch. I didn't like it.
Yeah, you told us you hated it. Oh, yeah. Well. Dem's the breaks, eh?
Dem's the breaks. Enjoy those who do.
Right. Now, thank you very much to everyone that has listened to our show, and especially to those that are still listening this far along. Nobody in the live chat this week. Oh, I guess everybody's feeling the Monday-itis. Special thanks again. Oh, he's back? Oh, well, there we go. He just looked over. He must have just popped up. Special thanks once again, Snoogs and Greg, for your hard work and efforts on the show. And Rem, we'll see you when you get back. Hope you have a good time. To all of our listeners, feel free to continue any of the topics that we have discussed on this show on our Facebook page or Discord channel. We've got links in the podcast show notes and description. Don't forget, the code word, if you're listening now, is agriculture. If you know what to do with that, then we love you. That's all from me. As always, I am Lucas.
I'm Grejio.
And I've been Snoogs.
Toodaloo. And he is Kazakyle. Good night, Kaz.
Night.
Well, here we are once again at the end of this week's show. If you're still hungry for more video game content, then head over to the Aussie Gamers Express Facebook page and give us a like. We also have a heavy presence over on Twitter and YouTube, and their links are waiting for you in the podcast description. This podcast is available for your convenience through Spotify, iTunes, Stitcher, TuneIn Radio, and more. Thanks again for listening. Catch you all on the next episode of the Aussie Gamers Express Video Game Podcast.